Good morning. Welcome to, or good afternoon, or wherever you are. Hello. We're going to go through more time units and intervals today. But before we go about it, let's start with a joke. I've got this joke about paper that no one wants to hear. I don't know why. Maybe because it's terrible. Ha 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 ha. Oh, man. One day you guys are going to miss all my jokes. Okay. So, like I said, today we are going through time units and intervals. I'm going to smash through these because hopefully these things are things that you know. 1 minute is 60 seconds. 1 hour is 60 minutes. 1 day is 24 hours. 1 week is 7 days. 1 fortnight is 2 weeks, or in other words, 14 days. 1 year is 52 weeks. These are the ones that you have to be a bit more familiar with. 1 year is 12 months. 1 year is 365 days, or 366 if it's a leap year. 1 decade, 10 years. 1 century, 100 years. 1 millennium is 1,000 years. Okay, now, most of you guys should know this. If you do not note it down, these are going to be assumed knowledge. We're not going to test you on these, but it's going to be assumed that you know what all these things are. So if they ask a question, you will need to know. Okay, now, this is where it gets a little bit more interesting. So converting time, that's what we're trying to do today. We're trying to convert different units of time. So if I've got 210 minutes to hours, the way that I would do this is I'd go, okay, 210 divided by 60. Now, the reason I'm dividing it by 60 is because that's how many minutes there are in an hour. Okay, so if I go that divided by 60, it should leave me with 3.5. And so that means I have 3.5 hours, or in other words, 3 hours and 30 minutes. Okay. Now, I probably should have my calculator on me because it will become helpful. Okay. Now, if I've got 130 hours to days and hours, so here's what I want to do. I'm going to go 130. And if I'm finding it in days, I need to divide this by 24. Okay, so if I go 130 divided by 24, that gives me some weird fraction here. Okay, it gives me 5.41666. So here, if I just go, let's see how we go here. So 130 divided by 24, it's going to give me 5 whole. So it's going to be 5 whole days. And so if I go 5 times 24, that's actually 120 hours. So that means, I note here, 5 times 24 equals 120 hours. So we can see here that 130 would be 5 days and 10 hours. Okay, so just a little bit of work here, but we're getting there. Moving on. The big thing today is we're learning how to work with, oh, that's a nice color. Working with 12-hour and 24-hour time. Now, I've got a very nice fancy watch. It tells me the time in 12-hour time. But there's also 24-hour time, which is military time. And when we ask you questions, we're going to use both. So basically, 12-hour time, it uses AM and PM, and it has the ... It's what we're most familiar with. It's what we see all the time on our phones, on our clocks, on our digital clocks all the time. Now, there's also this thing called military time or 24-hour time. It must have 4 digits, always has 4 digits. There's no AM and PM, it's just numbers, and there's also no ... And right, and the trick is that whenever you try to convert to from a PM time to 24-hour time, you just kind of plus 12 to whatever the hour is, and that'll get you there. So for example, if I have 1:30 p.m., the way that I'd write it in 24-hour time is what's 1 plus 12? It's 13, so it'll be 13:30. Notice I didn't put any ... Notice I didn't put any PMs. It's just 1,330 hours. That's how they'll say it. right? Or say, for example, if I've got 0630, now I technically could have just written 630, but military time or 24-hour times needs 4 digits. So I've got 0630. So that means it's 6:30. It's going to be in the morning. It's going to be AM. All right. Now, if we've got 12:12 AM, this is another interesting one. So this is right in the morning. This is technically the first 12 minutes of the day. So the way I'd write this is I'd go 0012. And because it's right early in the morning, it becomes 0012. Okay. Now, there's a little bit more. Now let's go calculations with time. If you've got a calculator, this is going to be very, very helpful at some points. But anyway, let's calculate the time that's 2 hours and 10 minutes before 0920. Okay, so in other words, 9:20 AM. So what I need to do is take away 2 hours and 10 minutes. So here, if I just go, if you want on your calculator, you can do this thing where you do the, the 9 degrees, minutes, and seconds. 9 degrees, 20 minutes. And you go take away 2 hours and 10 minutes. That's how you can do it on your calculator, or you can just do it in your head. 2 hours before 9 is 7 AM. And then and 10 minutes, an extra 10 minutes would be, instead of 9:20, it would be now 7:10. Right, 7:10 AM or 0710. Okay, so there's 2 different ways to talk about it. And also, if we're adding things like days, hours, minutes, we kind of add it almost as if it was an algorithm. So I've kind of stacked them on top of each other. So let's do it this way: 40 minutes plus 25 minutes. Now that's 65 minutes, right? So 65 minutes. I'll write a little note there, 65 minutes, but I don't want to write 65 minutes because it's not a very nice thing to write. So I'm going to write it as if it was just 5 minutes, because the 60 is 1 hour. So now I've got an extra hour here. I've got 3 hours plus 1, that's 4 hours, plus 22, that's 26. But again, we don't really want to talk about 26 hours. So I'm just going to talk about, it's going to be an extra 2 hours, because those 24 hours will carry on and add to be 1 extra day. So I've got plus 1 plus 2, that's 3, plus 1 is 4. So that'll be 4 days. Okay. So that would be how we calculate and add, I guess, calculations with days and times and hours and minutes. I would stack them up on top of each other. And then once they tick over to, hours or days or whatever, then you add it on as if it was a normal addition algorithm. Okay. Hopefully that helps. And I'll catch you guys in another video. See you later, and bye-bye.